A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move that could reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East, President Donald Trump has officially lifted U.S. sanctions on Syria, signing an executive order on Monday afternoon that aims to support the country's new government under interim President Ahmad al-Shara. This decision comes as part of Trump's broader strategy to stabilize Syria and promote peace in the region, a promise he made during a meeting with al-Shara last month. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt emphasized that the executive order is designed to promote and support the country's path to stability and peace. The lifting of sanctions is a departure from decades of U.S. policy towards Syria, which has been largely characterized by punitive measures against the regime of Bashar al-Assad, who has been accused of human rights abuses and war crimes during the ongoing civil war. The sanctions had severely restricted Syria's economy and limited its ability to engage in international trade. However, the new order does maintain certain restrictions against Assad and his associates, as well as individuals involved in destabilizing activities in the region. Trump's decision to lift sanctions comes at a time when Syria is undergoing a political transformation, with al-Shara, a former al-Qaeda insurgent, now leading the country. Al-Shara's rise to power has been marked by his efforts to normalize relations with the West, including a proposal to build a Trump Tower in Damascus and integrate foreign fighters into Syrian society. The U.S. government is hopeful that these moves will lead to a more stable and cooperative Syria. Ambassador Tom Barak, the administration's special envoy for Syria, described the executive order as a chance for the new government to demonstrate its commitment to peace and stability. He stated, "You have a general who transitioned from wartime into a position of being the leader of a reframed new country that needs everything." However, the decision to lift sanctions has not been without controversy. Critics argue that it may undermine U.S. leverage in the region and embolden Assad's allies, particularly Iran. Despite this, senior administration officials have insisted that the goal is not to exert leverage over Syria but to encourage its leadership to engage in constructive dialogue with Israel and other neighboring countries. Furthermore, the lifting of sanctions does not mean the end of U.S. vigilance in the region. Treasury Department officials have made it clear that they will retain the authority to impose restrictions, where appropriate, particularly against individuals or entities that pose a threat to U.S. interests. The administration is also aware that some sanctions will require congressional action to be permanently lifted, particularly those related to the Caesar Syria Civilian Protection Act, which imposes significant penalties on foreign entities that engage with the Syrian government. As the U.S. navigates this complex landscape, the international community will be watching closely to see how these developments unfold. The lifting of sanctions could pave the way for increased economic activity in Syria, but it also raises questions about the future of U.S. foreign policy in the region and the potential implications for Israel and its security. In conclusion, President Trump's decision to lift sanctions on Syria represents a bold gamble in the pursuit of stability and peace. While it offers a chance for a new beginning for the Syrian people, it also carries significant risks that could impact the delicate balance of power in the Middle East. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.